Welcome to our in-demand candidates. Elias Jarrouj, he is an advanced systems engineer. Join us while we have a discussion with Elias about up-to-date trends, his skills, and what's happening in the market today.
Welcome, Elias. We are really excited to chat to you. So Elias is a IT professional with over 15 years of experience. He is currently looking as being a advanced systems operations engineer, or ICT system management or ICT system engineer. So we're super excited to be chatting to you. Elias, if you can just tell us a little bit about why you got into the IT field.
Interesting question. Computers has always been my passion since I was very young age, and I started learning programming as I was like 10 or 11 years old.
Wow.
So Basic, really old programming languages, and I just really enjoyed it. And I stuck to IT and decided that's the career I want to have, a career in IT. But why I chose systems is is very difficult to explain. But what I like about systems and servers is the fact that servers are in the background. No one's really aware of of their about, and I feel servers are more serious work than, or more important work than
the display and
yes.
Yeah, and the background work that you kind of feel like nobody understands really. You've got
Yes, exactly, yeah. But I do enjoy that aspect of IT.
Yeah, perfect. More
Challenging. It's
technical.
challenging. It's very challenging. It's good.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that takes me to my first question. So in your career, over your 15 years, what has been your biggest challenge in implementing systems, and how have you overcome this kind of challenge?
That is an interesting question, a good question, in fact. Well, what I think the biggest challenge the is not okay, is not technical, but actually more stakeholder issue. So resistance to change. So a lot of stakeholders, and that is always a big fight, is they are very what's the word? They're very reluctant to change because they're very familiar to of their current working system, and they don't like change. So to overcome this, um, um, my my approach, I have few approaches, but the first one is to actually communicate with all the stakeholders and explain to them the benefits, how uh, for example, it can solve an existing problem, for example. How can make tasks even easier, for example. This depends on what it is. And the other thing, I would assure them that training and support will obviously be available. We ensure that that exists either from the supplier perspective, or if it is something we've done in-house, for example, we'll offer that service as well to the end user, to the client, or stakeholders. And what I like to do as well is involve stakeholders early in the process and during the process of implementation as well. So that way it gives them, make them feel invested in that project, and give everyone confidence as well. I think give them confidence and a chance for them to address any concerns.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
another, and another strategy or another way is actually run a pilot of the system to give a chance for end users to actually try it, see if they like it or not, and hopefully you end up with a small group of users who actually advocate for the system. So no, actually, I really like that system. It's really good. So much
Yeah,
easier. It's so much easier to use than compared to the existing one, for example.
absolutely.
Yeah, and another thing is always get feedback as well. Self-feedback to allow users to voice their concerns and suggestions, and to help us improve as well. So
Process.
yeah. So the other thing about the pilot, the good thing about it is it will reveal as well problems.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
currently at the NHS, when we build a system, I always request to build a test environment first before we even go to production. Everyone
yeah,
try it out, and that way we discover any issues, and we try to address them. So when it goes
yeah.
to production, we're good. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's really important if you're working on quite a large scale. You know, you've got a large amount of users. You ideally want, you know, the process and how they use it to be clear. Um, and you know, also the stakeholders, they have a big say, but they don't
yeah,
necessarily have the skills that you have. So keeping them in communication, I can understand, can be a big challenge. Um, Amazing. And Elias, with that, have you noticed any? I know artificial intelligence is coming out and kind of taking over, but you know, with that and maybe other trends, have you noticed any trends in the
oh yeah,
industry?
oh yeah. There's a lot happening. Obviously, like you mentioned, artificial intelligence is a big thing, and machine learning.
Mm,
It is something I like to keep on top of it and see what other industries how they're making use of that technology.
mm,
Um, so yeah, there's a lot going on. So I do try and keep track um, in terms of that aspect. But what other aspect as well that is actually growing is cloud computing. So
yeah.
for example, think of public cloud like AWS or Microsoft Azure.
Mm,
They're quite, it's a big trend and it's a big shift that a lot of organizations are moving into towards. And
mm.
it's really important to keep, uh, what's the word?
Keep up to date.
Yeah, keep up to date a- and yeah. And I personally love reading about Microsoft Azure a lot.
Mm,
And I do keep an eye on the changes that they do. Like every 2 weeks, they do a change. There's a change, something's
mm.
different, which is
Yeah,
quite interesting and exciting.
yeah.
Really powerful. Um,
And are people adapting to those changes quite quickly, or is it something where you're getting the background knowledge so that when it does get brought in, you already know what they're talking about?
um, yes. So
Mm,
for me adapting, it is something I'm used to anyway. I have to anyway. Um,
mm,
and that's why what makes me so my experience um and my knowledge, it does actually um help me adapt quite easily and understand what's the word?
out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah. So,
Perfect. No, that's cool. So
how,
the last question.
however, sorry to
Yes,
interrupt.
yes,
There's
yes,
there's more trends I would like to cover. Another
yes,
big one, cybersecurity as well. Cybersecurity is
absolutely.
a big thing. Like my previous job, my current job, I'm not really involved in cyber security because there's a team on his own
Mm,
that did that with this. But my previous job, we had to. Um, the UK government has like its own cybersecurity um, body,
mm,
and because I work at the college, so or at the university. So part of the deal for colleges, if we pass those accreditations, they get a grant.
Mm.
So we have to go through essential cybersecurity essential and cybersecurity plus. So essential is a lot of paperwork,
Mm.
but plus you have to actually prove you actually whatever you written in the paperwork is actually accurate. And every year they make it very challenging and hard, but at the same time it's a good thing because
Yeah.
you're securing your environment. So it's been quite good. I've done for 3 years. It was a nice experience. It was good. But I do see cybersecurity is a big thing that everyone needs to follow and keep on top of it.
Mm. Absolutely. I mean, also everyone's getting more and more advanced with their IT skills.
Mhm.
So, your security has to match that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Awesome. So, I mean, Elias, you are considered an advanced systems engineer.
yeah.
So, I'd like to find out from you what skills make you an advanced systems engineer as opposed to just a systems engineer?
Okay. Interesting question. I would say I will start with technical expertise, like advanced deep knowledge of system architects, ability to know to understand complex systems and how they work. Um, I mean, that's including cloud systems, not just native ones. Um, as well, um, the ability to know multiple programming languages. Um, like I'm good. I use PowerShell a lot. I love PowerShell, and I make use of Python as well, which is these are the two mostly used coding I like to use and do, especially to automate um, processes in the background.
Mm,
Um, as well as an advanced engineer, maybe as well like networking skills as well. Think
mm,
about it. So you do need that knowledge,
mm.
not even just basic, deeper than that, to be able to understand, to be able to optimize systems. If you think about it and secure them,
Yeah.
that is important. The other part, so that is a bit the technical part. The other part is leading on projects,
Mm,
especially big ones. Um, so from conception to deployment,
mm.
um, try the ability to actually uh, communicate with other teams and work with other teams as well. Um,
Mm.
Sometimes quite challenging, and obviously you need to try to ensure that everything is delivered in a good timely manner, but sometimes can be helped. Some things can come out of the way and delay things. It could be out of our control.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the ability as well to understand new technology, because you do have some users you wouldn't expect a system engineer to instantly understand um, a new release of a product, for example.
Mm.
You do need dedicated time to do so, and the ability or it's difficult to describe it. I'm struggling to describe that part. Um, um,
I mean, I'm looking at your CV and I'm just seeing, you've got a bachelor's of science, you've got a BTech in applied computing, a BSc honors in computing, a postgrad certificate in network systems
yeah,
engineering, your Azure fundamental certification, over 15 years of experience. It makes sense that you adapt, and that experience creates an advanced
yeah,
role.
yeah, yeah. The other thing, what makes an advanced engineer over like a normal engineer, the problem solving skills as well. Um, this is all the difficult problems. I can
Mm,
list you some, but that's going to bore you anyway. There's no point listing you what they are, but there are some problems that are not normal, and they always get passed on to myself or a colleague of mine who's as well an advanced engineer as well.
Mm.
We, but yeah, uh,
I mean,
innovating as well. That's another thing as well. The an advanced engineer is supposed to do,
mm,
innovating,
yeah,
improve things, uh, use cutting edge technology, staying ahead of industry trends and so on. And obviously, the
mm,
willing to study, learn,
mm.
communication as well. That is very important. Able to communicate non-technical stakeholders. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you, Elias. I mean, it's a little bit of a foreign language to me. But at the same time, it's easy to understand the importance of it at the end of the day. I just want to note how, it's really exciting. You are a tier 1 green list occupation under ICT systems administrator. So the job search, it's going, and I'm really, really excited to see, how employers respond to you, and hopefully we can set up those discussions. Thanks so much, Elias.
No worries. Thank you.